1, 2, 3, funk.
Good day everyone, I am Archel G. Austral, Bachelor of Elementary Education student. So for today's video, we will tackle about review of theories related to the learner's development. Cognitive learning theory. So the word comes from cognition, which is thinking. Cognitive learning theory is about understanding how human mind works while people learn. So the theory focuses on how information is processed by the brain and how learning occurs through that internal processing of information. It is based on the idea that people mentally process the information they receive rather than simply responding to stimuli from their environment. So the cognitive learning theory is a broad theory used to explain the mental processes and how they are influenced by both internal and external factors in order to produce learning in an individual. The theory is credited to educational psychologist Jean Piaget, who believed knowledge is something that is actively constructed by learners based on their existing cognitive structures. So Piaget disagreed with the behaviorist theory, which focuses strictly on observable behavior. He concentrated more attention to what went on inside the learner's head instead of how they reacted. Behaviorist approach versus cognitive approach. Behaviorist approach only studies external observable behavior that can be objectively measured. So this theory is based on a stimulus and a person's response to that stimulus. Behaviorists believe that internal behavior cannot be studied because internal mental processes cannot be observed and objectively measured. So in other words, we cannot see what happens in a person's mind, so therefore we cannot measure it. However, unlike behaviorism, cognitive approach believes that internal mental processes can be scientifically studied. It focuses on the thought process behind the behavior. They also believe in order to understand behavior, you have to understand what goes on in the brain to cause the behavior. So therefore, the cognitive approach to learning pays more attention to what goes inside the learner's head and focuses on mental processes rather than just observable behavior. Changes in behavior are observed but only as an indicator to what is going on in the learner's brain. So cognitive learning process. Cognitive learning is centered on the mental processes by which the learner takes in, interprets, stores, and retrieves information. So these mental processes occur between stimulus or input and response or output. So the individual takes in the stimulus, processes it in their mind, and then acts upon the stimulus. So those mental processes have several elements including the attention, observing, perception, interpreting, organizing, memory, storing and retrieval, categorizing, forming generalizations. So it is believed that individuals act on beliefs, thoughts, knowledge, attitudes, feelings, as well as understanding about themselves and the environment when interpreting stimulus. So there are three main cognitive theories: the Piaget's developmental theory, the Lev-Vygotsky social cultural cognitive theory, and the information process theory. So the first three main cognitive theories are Piaget developmental theory. So Piaget believed that children go through 4 stages of cognitive development in order to understand the world. So organization and adaptation are the two processes that allows us to make sense of our world. So, 4 stages of cognitive development. So, the first stage is sensory motor stage. So, in sensory motor stage, it starts when the child is born until 2 years age. 2 years old of age. So, in this stage, the child is only aware of what is in the front of them. So the second stage is pre-operational stage. So in pre-operational stage, it begins at age 2 until 7 years of age. So in this stage, children go beyond sensory perception. Children are able to think about things symbolically. The third stage is concrete operational stage. So in this stage lasts from 7 to 11 years of age. So during this stage, the child becomes aware of their surroundings and they are less self-centered. So the fourth stage, formal operational stage. So it begins at age 11 to 15 years old of age. So in this stage, it allows the child to think in abstract and logical ways. So the second main cognitive theories is Levi-Gotsky's theory. So in Levi-Gotsky's theory, it focuses on how culture and social interaction lead cognitive development. So he believed that social interaction plays an important role in the way we develop cognitively. So the third main cognitive theories is information process theory. So in this theory, it views the mind as a system that processes information. We already tackled about cognitive learning theories. So now let's proceed to behavioral learning theories. Behaviorism. Behaviorism is the school of thought that seeks to measure only observable behaviors. Hence, it only examines outward behavior when trying to understand if learning occurred. Behaviorism stems from the work of John Watson, B.F. Skinner, and Ivan Pavlov. So these behaviorism theorists believe that knowledge exists independently and outside of people. Also, they believe that learning actually occurs when new behaviors or changes in behaviors are acquired through associations between stimuli and responses. So there are 3 types of behavioral learning. First, classical conditioning. Second, operant conditioning. The third one is observational conditioning. So, both classical and operant conditioning are forms of associated learning, means associations are made between events that occur together. So, observational learning is learning by observing others. Observational learning theory is considered to be a bridge between behaviorism and cognitive learning theories. So, classical conditioning, learning through association. Operant conditioning, learning through consequences. Observational learning, learning through observation. Now, let's proceed to the first type of behavioral learning, which is classical conditioning. So, classical conditioning is a learning process in which an association is made between 2 stimuli. So, the theory of classical conditioning was introduced by Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov, and he conducted his classic experiment involving dogs. So, the second type of behavioral learning is operant conditioning. So, operant conditioning is a learning process in which responses are controlled by consequences. So, the likelihood of a certain response occurring is either increased or decreased due to either a reinforcement or a punishment consequences. So the term operant conditioning was coined by a behaviorist B.F. Skinner, who conducted experiments with rats using a device called the Skinner box. So you might wonder what is reinforcement. So reinforcement is a consequence that increase the livelihood a response will occur. If you are using reinforcement, you are trying to increase a behavior. So there are two types of reinforcement. First, the positive reinforcement. Second is the negative reinforcement. So, positive reinforcement means adding a stimulus. So, it is the addition of a good stimulus after a response in order to encourage the response to continue. For example, giving someone praise after a desired behavior is displayed. So, on the other hand, the negative reinforcement means removal of an undesirable stimulus after a response so that response will occur more often. So the third type of behavioral learning is observational learning. So observational learning or modeling is a process in which learning occurs through observing the behaviors. It allows for learning without any direct change to behavior. So, observational learning is associated with the work of Albert Bandura and his social learning theory. So, the social learning theory suggests that learning occurs through observation and interaction with other people. Thank you and God bless everyone.